Hi there. Today I wanted to do a little impromptu video about a Holter monitor, basically an EKG monitor that you wear for 24 hours, sometimes longer. The reason I want to talk about that is I'm actually wearing a Holter monitor right now, and I'll show you in a little second. Now, to share something a little personal, lately, the past month-ish, I've been feeling some heart palpitations. Now, I'm a runner, as you've seen in some of my videos. I run anywhere between 10, 20 miles on the weekend. Wow. Sometimes I do 3 miles a day during the week, just depending on what I'm doing, if I'm training for anything or just doing it for fun. Now with that said, so my heart is very well conditioned. My heart rate usually runs between 40 and 60 beats per minute. Usually hangs around when I'm resting, kind of sitting on the couch. If I sit on the couch, it's about 40 to 50 beats per minute, which is pretty good and some good conditioning. Wow. However, in the past month or so, I've been having a little bit of heart palpitations. I could be sitting at my computer, doing some music. I could be sitting at work, typing, talking to a patient. I could be doing anything, walking. I could be running, and I started to feel little palpitations. When I felt them when I was running, I thought, okay, well, if I'm sitting down, that's one thing, but if I'm running, that's one thing also. So I consulted my primary doctor, who gave me a referral to a cardiologist. The cardiologist said, well, let's get a couple of tests done on you. And one test you want to do first is a calcium scoring test. So I had to do kind of like a CT scan. They basically hook you up to a monitor, run you through a little machine, and they're going to kind of see if there's any calcium deposits built up in my coronary arteries or in my arteries. Just because I have a family history of heart disease, especially being Hispanic and I'm a little on the older side. The second test he wanted to do was have an echocardiogram, which I had that done this morning, and they're gonna basically do an ultrasound of my heart, kind of see which direction, if the blood's flowing good, if there's any regurgitation, if my mitral and tricuspid valves are firing correctly, if they're having any regurgitation. And the third test is this Holter monitor, which is basically, it's a 3-lead EKG, and it's a 24-hour continuous look at the heart electronically to see when I have a palpitation, what my heart is actually doing. So let me change real quick and I'll kind of show you a little bit of what it looks like when it's on me. All right, so what I did is just changed into a tank top, and as you can see here, I have a green light. Kind of looks like a little Iron Man thing, not really. But basically what it is I have 3 leads. I have a lead here on my right shoulder. I have one here on my rib here on the side. And then I have one somewhere in the middle of my chest here. And these 3 leads are connected to this recording device. And then this, basically it's holding the information, and they'll download it to a computer or something and kind of analyze the data of what my heart was doing within this 24-hour period. So what I want to talk about now real quick is just what are palpitations and how a Holter monitor device actually works. Right, so first off, palpitations. Palpitations can happen for whatever reason. It can happen because of caffeine intake, could happen because of stress, it could happen because of maybe some pre-workout supplements, it could happen just for any reason. Now, the idea is to find out what is causing it. Is it something that is actually going on inside the heart? Maybe they can fix that if there needs to be some type of an intervention inside the heart, or maybe medications, or staying away from a certain type of medications, or things like caffeine also. And then what is a Holter monitor device? It's kind of basically like an EKG, kind of explain a little bit about it. It's recording the information on a 24-hour basis for the physician to kind of analyze and see what's actually going on with the heart. Now, if anybody has ever been in the hospital and they've done an EKG, or they have you on a telemetry unit where they have you hooked up to wires and they're monitoring you for a 24-hour period, or as long as you're in the hospital, it could be to monitor, like if you've had especially if you had a history of heart attacks or strokes, or if you have some type of a blood issue going on, or if you have a family history of heart attacks or strokes, just basically to kind of keep an eye on your heart. Or if you're there for chest pain, or for whatever reason, they're going to keep these monitors on you. Basically, you're wearing a box, kind of a little bigger than this, with a bunch of the wires that connect to it, and it's sending the signal remotely to usually a little monitoring room where people are kind of keeping an eye on what your heart is doing. On the computers, there's actually alarms that kind of ding when your heart is either going too fast or too slow. If a lead gets taken off because they're stretching or pulling or whatever, it alerts the monitoring room, and they usually call the nurse, and the nurse will go and check on the patient. It's kind of a little bit of security. But this here is kind of similar to that, except it's just I'm wearing it, and if I pull it off, I just reconnect it, and they'll see that at that time of the day, for whatever reason, the information kind of stopped, or they only saw a certain part of it. So that's what a Holter Monitor device is in a nutshell. Like I said, I'm using it for 24 hours to kind of keep an eye on to see what my heart's doing. I don't have any chest pain or anything like that. I just have these flutters in my basically right here in the middle of my throat, which are considered to be what they call palpitations. So I wanted to keep an eye on that, especially since I do have a family history of cardiac issues. So I wanted to kind of be ahead of the game. Like I said, I just want to do a little quick impromptu video about the Holter Monitor device and palpitations. Just something real quick in case you see somebody wearing one or somebody is having palpitations. They probably want to be evaluated primarily first by their primary care physician, and then ultimately a cardiologist. So you know I'm all about the music, so I'm going to talk about the music right here. Little plug for it. Now, as many of you may know, and for those of you who don't, as Nurse Master Charlie, I do songs about health-related topics. One of my songs is actually called Pump That Blood, and I'll put a link in the description, which kind of talks about the blood flow through the heart and also the body. So I just wanted to share that. That way you can give a listen to that, maybe pick up some information. In the comments below, if you could tell me, have you ever had to wear a Holter monitor, and why? Was it for palpitations or was it for chest pain? I like to think of it as I'm a musician, that I am currently wired for sound. Little joke. Anyways, leave me in the comments if you've ever had to wear one and why. And thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Just want to do a real quick video. And until the next video, God bless and bye-bye.